This revision topic is on directors' remuneration, how directors are being paid. The ED's remuneration and the NED's remuneration are different. So we need to look at both. First, we look at the ED's remuneration. EDs are like employees in terms of remuneration, except that the remuneration are a lot more higher. So it consists of basic salary. Basic salary is fixed. It is paid, for example, per month. It doesn't fluctuate in the short term in relation to the company performance. Second, ED may be paid a loyalty bonus. Loyalty bonus is at a long service award. The purpose is to motivate the director to stay. So it's to retain director. Third is a cash performance bonus. Cash performance bonus is to motivate director to improve the company business performance to meet target. And then the next one is share options. Share options are to align directors' interests with shareholders' interests, is to motivate them to think like shareholders so that they will act in shareholders' interests. So these are the four components of the ED's remuneration package. According to the Code of Corporate Governance, when setting the ED's remuneration package, number one, we make sure it is high enough. High enough to do three things. ARM. A stands for attract, R stands for retain, M stands for motivate. So it should be high enough to attract talented directors to join you as ED, to retain them to stay with the company, and motivate them to achieve target. Second, significant proportion of ED's package should be linked to performance and individual performance of the director. Significant proportion means more than 50%. So more than 50% of the package should be linked to performance. And lastly, the performance component must have a balance between short-term and long-term targets. So now we look at the topic linking ED's performance with pay. Why ED's pay should be linked to the performance? Number one, it motivates director. So director that actually improve the business take more pay home. So therefore they are motivated. The company does well, the directors do well as well. Second, when linking the director's pay to the performance, it aligns the director's action to shareholder interests. When they improve business performance, they create shareholder value. At the same time, they are compensated. Okay? So therefore, it is aligned to shareholder. And as a result, shareholders do not need to monitor them so much because they are motivated to do well for shareholders. When shareholders don't have to monitor them so much, agency costs come down. And because of that, the directors become more accountable to shareholders. When the company does well, they take more pay. When the company is not doing well, they are kind of being punished because they take home less pay. As a result, they become more accountable. So now let's take a look at this exam question about ED's pay. It is from the September-December 2016 exam, question 1B part 2. This question wants us to explain why shareholders support a link between rewards, which is the ED's remuneration, and performance, and why this link is important to shareholders. So therefore, the four reasons is number one, it motivates performance. Number two, it aligns interest. Number three, it reduces agency problem. And number four, it increases accountability, like the way we just gone through earlier. So we just revised the ED's remuneration package. Now we go to the NED's remuneration. Now because NEDs are part-time director, they are not full-time director, so they are not compensated the same way as ED. They are paid a fixed director's fee. This director fees is based on the NED's time commitment and responsibility. That means based on how much time you expect the NEDs to spend on the company's affairs and what are the responsibility the NED will assume. So this director fee will not be linked to the company performance. It doesn't fluctuate with the company financial performance. So directors that are assuming more responsibility, like audit committee chairman, their responsibility will be higher. They also need to spend more time than NEDs who do not have such appointment. Therefore, the director's fee will be higher. That's called based on time commitment and responsibility assumed. So why is it that the NED's remuneration should not be linked to company business performance? Number one, if their remuneration is linked to company performance, their objectivity will be affected. Number two, they will not be able to perform their NED roles effectively. Number three, if they are paid the same way like the ED, they are in effect determining their own remuneration. Number four, if we motivate them the same way as NED, then they will focus on short-term measure. It does not represent long-term shareholder interest. Now we look at these four reasons in detail one by one. The first reason, okay, their objectivity will be affected because they need to be objective in scrutinizing ED's decision. If they are paid like ED, they may support ED's decision because they will be rewarded in the same way. So to make sure they remain objective, we do not want them to be motivated like the ED. That's the first reason. Second reason, if the NEDs are paid the same way as ED, in effect they are determining their own pay. Why is that so? The reason is NED make up the remuneration committee. So the role of remuneration committee is to decide ED's pay. So when the NED decide the ED's pay and they are paid the same way, therefore they are deciding their own pay. Now the risk is, if a person is deciding their own pay, there's always a higher risk of deciding excessive pay, and that's not good for the company. So that's the second reason. The third reason, we need the NED to challenge the ED, especially in terms of the strategy and performance scrutiny. If they are paid the same way, they may not challenge the strategy. They may support the risky strategy so that they can get the same bonus. So therefore, they will not be effective in these roles anymore. That's the third reason. The fourth reason is we want them to pay more attention to the long-term shareholder interest. So we do not want them to be motivated like the ED for short-term results. So this is the fourth reason why NED's pay should not be linked to performance. So now we apply this concept to an exam case study, June 2013. Question 4C. Please take a look at this question and then come back, we will discuss this question. In June 2013, question 4C, the requirement wants us to briefly explain the general roles of NEDs in a listed company, such as Boom Company. That is requirement 1. So this one is to describe the 4 roles: strategy role, people role, scrutiny role, and risk role. Write the 4 roles, you get at least the 4 marks. Next, discuss why NED should not receive performance-related element in the reward as SAM South required. So their pay should not be linked to performance. Why? So why NED should not receive performance pay? Because the exam question gives us 10 marks, 4 marks given to the role, so we have 6 marks left. So this one, we can get 3 key points, each one 2 marks. So we have 4 key points. Number 1, their objectivity will be affected. Number 2, they will not be able to perform the NED role effectively. Number 3, they are setting their own pay. Number 4, they will focus on short term. So these are the 4 reasons, like what we just gone through. Repeat the 4, you get the full marks. So we have gone through the pay for ED. So for ED, the main thing is more than 50% should be linked to performance. And there should be a balance between short-term and long-term target. For NED, the focus is it is a fixed fee, it is based on time commitment, responsibility assumed, it should not be linked to performance, and why. So I hope the revision for this topic is useful for you. Thank you.